Good morning, Virgo. Take a breath before we start. Um, because this message right here, is going to stir something in you. And I want you to be grounded before it does. So breathe, come fully into this moment, and then let's talk. Picture this. It is late at night. The kind of late where everything is quiet and the world outside has gone still. And somewhere in a room you cannot see, someone is awake, not peacefully awake, not scrolling, not distracted, awake in that particular way. That only happens when something won't let you go, when a thought, a feeling, a name keeps surfacing no matter how many times you try to push it down. And the name is yours. Whew, your ex is not okay. I want to say that directly, without drama, without celebration, simply as a fact. They are not okay. And the performance they may be putting on for the world, the moving on, the looking fine, the social media version of someone who has it together, is a performance, because in the private hours, in the dark, when there is no audience and no one to be okay for, something breaks through. Something that sounds like regret, that feels like loss, that carries your name in it, whether they want it to or not. And here is what makes that performance so exhausting for them. They have to maintain it constantly around the people who knew you both, around anyone who might report back, around themselves in the daylight hours when distraction is still possible. But at night, the performance collapses. At night, there is no audience left, no story to hold together, no version of fine to perform. And in that collapse, what remains is honest, uncomfortably honest. And what remains is you, your presence, your absence, the weight of both, sitting on their chest in the dark. They are thinking about you deeply, painfully, in ways that surprise even them. Because here is the thing about losing someone like you, someone with the depth you carry, the realness you bring, the way you love when you love, completely, without holding back, without performing, without giving someone a version of you, but the actual you. You cannot replace that. You cannot find the next person and slot them in and feel the same thing, because what you gave was specific to you. And what they lost is not just a relationship. It is a version of themselves that existed in your presence. And they missed that version. Even if they cannot admit it, even to themselves. Now I want to talk about the fight, because there is chaos in the energy around this person right now, and you are at the center of it. Even though you are not in the room, there is conflict brewing around them, about them, because of decisions they made, choices that seemed clean at the time, that are now revealing their consequences with a clarity that is uncomfortable for everyone involved. And your name, your absence, the space where you used to be is making itself felt in that chaos, like a missing piece that everyone can feel, even if nobody is saying it out loud. You were a stabilizing force in their world, even if they did not treat you like one, even if they took that stability for granted, even if they acted like your presence was something they could afford to lose. You were a stabilizing force in their world, even if they did not treat you like one, even if they took that stability for granted, even if they acted like your presence was something they could afford to lose. They cannot afford to lose it. They are learning that now. The expensive way. And here is what I want you to understand about this chaos, about this fight that is unfolding around your name, around the space you left behind. It is not your responsibility to fix it. Not one piece of it. The mess that is happening in their world right now was not created by your absence. It was created by choices they made, actions they took, things they prioritized over you, and the consequences of those choices are simply arriving now with the kind of timing that feels almost deliberate, almost like the universe waiting until they were paying attention. Before delivering the lesson, you are not the lesson. You are the proof that the lesson was necessary. And say something important. I am not telling you this so you can feel satisfied. Although if part of you feels a flicker of that, that is human, that is understandable. And I am not going to shame you for it. But I am telling you this for a different reason. I am telling you this because I want you to understand something about your own value that you may have lost sight of. In the aftermath of this relationship, in the grief of it, in the way endings have a tendency to make us question ourselves, even when we were not the problem, what is happening in their world right now is a reflection of what you brought to the table and what the table looks like without you at it. And I want to talk about you now because you are the one I am here for, not them. How are you? Not the how are you say when someone asks. The real one. The one you answer in the quiet when nobody is waiting for a particular response, because endings are strange things. Even the ones that were right, even the ones where you knew or where they ended something that was hurting you, there is still a grief in it. A particular kind of grief that does not announce itself cleanly, that sneaks up on you in ordinary moments. A song, a smell, a time of day that used to mean something different. You are allowed to still feel that. Even if you are also doing well, even if you are moving forward, even if part of you knows this ending was necessary, grief and growth are not opposites. They often walk together, hand in hand, down the same road. But here is what I want you to also know. While they are awake at night, while their world is loud with the consequences of choices they made, while your name lives in their chest as something aching and unresolved, you are not their resolution. Let me say that again. You are not their resolution. Whatever they are working through, whatever realization is arriving for them, whatever regret is sitting in their chest at 3 a.m. calling your name. That is their journey, their lesson, their work to do. Your job right now is not to be available for their awakening. Your job right now is to build the life that was interrupted or delayed or temporarily obscured by the season you spent in that relationship. Because while they have been unraveling, you have been building. Maybe you don't see it fully yet. Maybe it feels slow. Maybe the growth of this period has been invisible to you from the inside. The way trees grow without you watching, and then one day you look up and they are enormous. That is what has been happening in you. While they were falling apart in private, you have been putting yourself back together, piece by piece, in ways that are changing who you are, what you will accept, what you will never again settle for. The version of you that existed at the start of this relationship and the version of you that exists right now are not the same person. And the next chapter of your life, the one that is beginning to take shape on the horizon, was designed for this version, the one that went through it and came out the other side, knowing things you did not know before, with a clarity about love and worth and what you deserve, that only comes from having experienced what you don't deserve. Up close, personally, that knowledge is not a wound. It is armor and wisdom and a compass all at once. Now I want to speak to what may happen next, because energy like this, an ex awake at night, a situation unraveling around them, a growing awareness of what they lost, often produces a reach, a message, a call, a sudden appearance, disguised as something casual. Hey, just thinking of you, or saw something that reminded me of you, or something even more direct, an admission, a confession, something that was sitting in them too long and finally broke through the surface. And if that happens, I want you to be prepared, not emotionally armored against it, but clear about what you want, clear about what has changed in you, clear about what you would need to see, not just hear, see. Before anything could look different, words from someone who hurt you are cheap, actions over time, consistent, sustained, aligned with what they claim to feel. That is the only currency that means anything. Know your price and do not discount it for anyone. Because here is the truth of where you stand right now. You are not the one who lost something irreplaceable. You are whole, moving forward, building something, becoming someone that the next great chapter of your life is going to be very glad to meet. They are the ones lying awake in the dark with your name in their chest, like something they cannot swallow and cannot release. Let that tell you something about your worth, not as a reason to go back, but as a reminder of exactly how much you bring to any room any relationship, any life that is lucky enough to have you in it. You are not a consolation. You are not a backup plan. You are not something people realize they needed, only after they have lost you. Although, right now, someone is realizing exactly that, and you are already somewhere else, already further along, already becoming the version of yourself that their loss, ironically, helped create. Walk forward, eyes ahead, knowing exactly what you are worth, because the right people will never need a 3 a.m. breakdown to figure that out.